Ukrainian snipers are making extensive preparations. This is because they are facing Russian special forces, who are advancing slowly through the forest. They are moving quietly deep into the forest to ambush them. Finally, they found a hidden and well-protected spot, took up their positions, and began firing. The Russian forces are moving in a scattered formation through the forest, but the Ukrainian snipers are taking them out one by one. The Ukrainian snipers have been training for this operation for a very long time and have been waiting for this moment. Every single bullet hits its target directly. The Russian soldiers don't stand a chance. The Ukrainian snipers are hitting their targets with pinpoint accuracy. Here is footage of the Ukrainian sniper team driving back the Russian forces. The snipers were spotted by Russian drone operators while on duty and were targeted by FPV drones. However, these soldiers are highly trained and very experienced in shooting down FPV drones. As a result, the Russians' attempt to attack with FPV drones failed. The snipers easily shot down the FPV drones one by one. The Russians continued to send new drones each time. This is because these snipers are taking out the soldiers on the front lines one by one. That's why the Russian drone operators needed to push back the Ukrainian snipers, but the Ukrainian snipers destroyed the Russians' FPV drones in mid-air every time they arrived.
Падает, идет на снижение. Да, идет на снижение. Вон, видишь?
The snipers were forced to retreat because their positions had been exposed. If they stayed any longer, more Russian FPV drones would have come. Immediately afterward, Ukrainian drone operators sprang into action and took over the snipers' unfinished work. Ukrainian FPV drones, taking off one after another, targeted Russian soldiers on the front lines. A new FPV drone was deployed for each soldier. Russian soldiers are trying to advance across open terrain, but this is a major mistake. Hiding among the trees isn't enough either. Ukrainian drone operators have spent many long hours training for this. Share your thoughts in the comments. Ukrainian drone operators are aggressively using all their strength to attack the Russian army. The Russians are doing their utmost to counter the FPV drones, but are failing to do so. Drone operators are achieving extraordinary successes on the front lines by utilizing all the capabilities of the technology with new and heavy munitions. Volunteer FPV drone operators are repelling the Russian forces' offensive attempts. Please share your thoughts with me on this latest development in technology. For example, how else could infantry on the front lines fight against FPV drones? It appears that Russian forces have no defense system against FPV drones. In fact, the soldiers don't even seem to have received adequate training. They're firing at the FPV drones with rifles, but that's not enough. It's impossible to shoot down these FPV drones, which can make sudden maneuvers while traveling at speeds of 60 to 70 kilometers per hour, with rifles. That's why Russian forces are unable to combat FPV drones on the front lines. Here's another Ukrainian drone lying in wait. It's impossible for the Russians to spot these drones. That's because they're well camouflaged. They're parked along the roadside and monitor the enemy's movements. They respond instantly, and the rest is history. Having FPV drones lie in wait is a new military strategic move. Imagine a mobile piece of heavy weaponry that can actually fly. That's exactly what an FPV drone is. Escaping or hiding is now nearly impossible. Inexperienced and untrained Russian soldiers are easily defeated by Ukrainian drone operators. In next week's videos, we'll witness the incredible struggles of Ukrainian forces fighting on the front lines. Stay tuned to analyze these unique frontline footage with me. We'll also discuss Ukraine's new generation Flamingo airstrikes against Russia. In recent weeks, Ukrainian forces have not only made significant gains on the front lines, but have also inflicted substantial damage on Moscow through airstrikes. That's all for this week's Frontline News. Stay tuned for more. Don't forget to like the video and leave a comment.